You know, this is Myanmar's and Indonesia's time to shine. I think a little bit of a changes and shakeups from the draft for Myanmar.
Okay.
They have very strong early game potential. Will they repeat what they did in the previous game and eventually close things out?
Yeah, I think Team Indonesia, this is going to be a high-octane kind of gameplay. They need to really make use of the map to rotate as quickly as possible, try to catch onto Shine, try to catch onto Myo as much as possible. Because, you know, going into the map right here, if you don't rotate using the Mathilda, then basically you're wasting the Mathilda. But at the very least, Mathilda in the early game does a lot of damage, so that's a decent poke that you can try to do. But now, as we go into the tank meta is not very susceptible to hard invades.
That's the beauty of a Lilia. So much of a lane bully right off the bat, just destroying all the mini glues around. Power spike since level 1.
Yeah, especially with the fix, right? Lapu Lapu is still a solid pick, still cookie cutter and kind of vanilla, I would say. But looking at what Lapu is trying to do right here, I think it's to probably pose a threat over to the Moskov once again. Yep. Every time you slash, especially if you have your War Axe, especially when the split happen, you're going to heal all that all the way back up. But apart from that, I don't know, I just feel like there's another better EXP out there as compared to a Lapu Lapu.
The better one was banned, which is the Yuzhong. Will be good in their lineup, but Lapu is actually winning lanes, pretty much dominant if you look in the minimap.
I mean, definitely, right? Arlott in the early game doesn't really have a lot of priority because it's reliant on the cooldowns basically to wave clear as well. But because of the fact that you got the Vengeance that could just heal off that very quickly, I think that's why he can sustain in the lane. But his true power spike comes at level 4.
Yep, Alexander's definitely also on the other side of the table going to empower this Lapu Lapu because sustain is pretty much the name of the game for Indonesia at this point. Once you get a photo, that is a power spike not only for the Matilda but for everyone around Indonesia. Dingerai having a few day up on the top side, better than the previous game, not playing very defensively anymore.
Total spawn around the bottom side this time round. Level 4 checks both EXP laners and also mid laners. Delvin has lesser impact around the level 4, especially when you go into the ultimate. For the Lilia, doesn't really serve a lot of things. Dingerai, get out of there.
There's a one-on-one fight, and Heavy Spin already utilized to push everyone back. Alexander down low, and it's Lapu Lapu actually coming in. Afan underneath the noses takes down that turtle. And this final slash pushing everyone away. Indonesia, they don't want to risk too much, but they're going for it anyways. Myanmar will lose one member as well.
Man, Dingerai burned used the BMI to try to...
This is SOD! Hey! That's the Moscow! All the way from the top side!
What a lucky shot coming over Team Myanmar as well, fighting onto the weaker, the weak member from the side of Team Indonesia as well. Oh my goodness, that is not going well once again for Team Indonesia.
What's not going well? The Spears will be able to push upon back, but Shine all the way from that bottom side, able to get that recall, taking a lot of damage though. Lost the priority on that lane, but here comes that glue. Afan does have the heavy spin to keep everyone safe and sound for now. Purify also used up by Dingerai, able to get pulled over. Underneath that turret they go. The Gloom Squad won't be able to extend their reach. No support coming in from that glue.
That's why
Afan picks up that kill.
That's why I'm not a very big fan about this glue, right? Because especially it's the same thing as you see from other teams, especially they sport their glue. But if you take a look, Xiaoyuki, sorry for calling you vanilla because you are doing a great job trying to stun up Han so that Afan was able to secure the turtle right there. However, the amount of damage that the team Myanmar was able to do, especially Arlott, does have a lot of nothing numbers, was able to do quite a decent chunk of damage. And of course, you got the Spear of Destruction landing at just the right timing.
Yeah, a beautiful aim, beautiful three-point shot from that Moskov, to say the least. As Indonesia, though, I think basically that team fight was won on the turtle pit. They need to find a way to capitalize on that one. There was a little bit of a quick rotation from Dingerai down to the pit as well. At least you had the Blazing Duet from that fight for additional damage. Next turtle will be spawning up in 10 seconds on the gold lane.
I feel like right now it's more on Team Indonesia time to act, right? They do have the Mathilda early game, and also Delvin this time around should be able to scale. Dingerai was trying to join the team fight. I mean, that's kudos to him. But you can start to see the glue, right, being a bit annoying, especially during team fights. But especially when the possession, if Paul did time that glue wrong, Dingerai could just go all the way back into base, and then after that, bring him to no man's land.
Arlott coming back in. Hein trying to push Dingerai all the way back. Sending him to half health. Speaking of the half health, that is Fredrin being taken out. Bursted down by Dalvin. Afan picking it up. Threatening the needle. SOD misses everyone in the coagulation.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Once again, the first SOD was great, the second SOD not as great. But Shine is actually down in the bottom lane, opposite side of the turtle. Team Myanmar knows that this Moskov needs a lot more damage, a lot more farm in order to be a little bit more prevalent. Dingerai joining the team fight is actually great because it supplements onto Delvin's damage and Xiayuki's damage to a certain extent. And then hopefully they farm Team Myanmar's players instead of your minions.
The high utility coming in from Afan's heavy spin and locking this Fredrin down, definitely not a good look for Myanmar so far in the game. They're losing a lot more priorities in the lane as well. And speaking of which, Blue finding a little bit more information, just being a nuisance down the bottom side. Speaking of bottom side, the Shaoki picking up with the kill onto the Moskov.
That's absolutely wonderful. That's the power of
again. With the heavy spin, pinning into the wall, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. That's a pullback. No! The guiding wind won't reach its mark.
No, wait, I think... Okay, hold on a second. I hope that's a replay for this.
That's the final slash once again. Delvin with black shoes, back to at full health. A lot of damage coming in from that Lilia on the top side as well. Mid side though, the Claude bought some time to take down that T1.
Yeah, mid lane already taken down away. I really hope that there is a...
It just soaked up too much damage.
No, I hope there's a replay of it because I was watching from my own bots right here, and it's absolutely hilarious, right? Because the Guiding Wind was actually activated by the side of, yeah, there we go. Asen Yisha received. Take note on, okay.
Yeah. He's making his way down Alexander in the river.
Yeah, I think all eyes on Alexander, right? Alexander using the Guiding Wind already to try to dash, hopefully try to save a fun, but Delvin took it instead.
Delvin took it! Oh, okay. I thought that was a Guiding Wind. We were able to pull him back out.
That Guiding Wind was supposed to basically punch Afan out. Don't forget, Delvin does have the ultimate to try to back off. Instead, well, we have like a lot of... Okay, we're back.
Okay, we are back into the turtle pit. Turtle at half. Hold over to Afan's side. Shaoki taking a little bit too much damage. Myomin at the position to push the EXP lane away. Indonesia is fighting a 3-on-4 in the mid side. This final slash on the two. Dalvin will use the black shoes to get into deep. Taking a little bit too much damage. The heavy spin will keep him up and alive. Pull the glue away. The blazing duet will not reach its mark, but take a lot of damage in the mid side. As Indonesia will be hitting a lot of, will be taking a lot of damage and will be dealing a lot of damage onto Myanmar. But everyone is safe and sound. No one's falling as of now.
Moskov's up top, just shoving against Team Indonesia as well. While Team Indonesia, for the side of Fan, working on the turtle instead. Good damage being poured over to Myo, was able to push him away. The Flicker also committed as well. So it's just how Team Indonesia is constantly handshaking Team Myanmar in terms of these 5v5 fights. They love it and they crave for it. Even the rapid boots for the side of Dingerai was also built as well so that he can rotate all the way down to assist and fight as 5 because they know Moskov will be on the other side trying to farm up. If the Moskov lands an SOD, okay, fine, we'll fight 5v5. But if it doesn't, hey, we will have 5v4.
That's the engage. Alexander will be able to use the Guiding Wind all the way back out. The BMI, that's a Purify also used up, so the Spear won't connect.
Yep. And that's the thing, right? If Team Myanmar wants to fight 5v5 and you're packing on Moskov as well, you need to find a way to confirm that landing of that spear as well. So it's also up to how, you know, the rest of the team members from the side Team Myanmar communicate, right? I think the easiest one is from Han's taunt, so that once the taunt happens, Shine can just send down the SOD right at Fredrin. So I think it's a lot about communication, but there's a lot of displacement tools coming up inside Team Myanmar as well, right? The final slash and also the glue can bring Team Indonesia into the awkward position, causing Shine to miss the SOD.
Now as we're seeping into the first floor of the game, we stand to see quite a bit of adjustments into the gameplay from Myanmar especially. You're sending Shine to the side lanes to try to deal with the pressure and try to build up a slow minion wave to try to push into Indonesia, which is what Indonesia kinda is unable to handle at this point of time. Teasing a little bit more on the jungle on the top side. Trying to push in the turrets, no one is initiating anything more.
But the longer the time goes, right, Team Myanmar should have a solid foothold. If you notice the location of Shine, not joining the team fights as of yet, Hein on this R-Lot is able to dish out quite a considerable, respectful amount of damage. Team Indonesia though, sending Xiaoyuki all the way down bot to basically deal and fix that wave before joining is still okay, but that means that you do not have somebody like a secondary peeler for Dingarai. Technically speaking, Delvin has the magic shoes to basically go all the way back, helping him just a little bit. The Mathilda as well, but I feel like right now you just need a lot more solid CCs that the Lapu can offer.
Remember, this is expanding rivers, and you said during the start of the game, Myanmar likes this more. Right now, with the Matilda, Indonesia is more positive with this. This is Blink Duet, a lot of damage. Shine goes down. No more Moscow for this next Lord fight. Indonesia is going to take the lead here.
Good pick up right there coming up for the side of Team Indonesia. Now, no more Moscow. And now I think it's just Team Indonesia definitely going to make a beeline all the way to the Lord right here. Team Myanmar has to fight this Lord pit with a bit of a disadvantage.
Upon is still right into the Lord, trying to pull it out. The health is still relatively healthy as Han tries to walk his way in. Heavy spin already utilized way too earlier on. He's trying to push the veteran away. The glue brings him back into the fray. Upon falls. No more Kai. The final slash on the 3. Gets that flicker out of the way. You see Dalvin trying to push that Juicin out the way. Glue first to fall. There's the SOD. Moskov joins in the fight. There's a lot of damage coming in from this demon. They take a lot of damage themselves. They're trying to zone everything out, but here comes Dingarai. A little bit of a silver lining for that one. He wants to steal onto this thing. Oh. Alexander will fall, but hands of Shine. It's a one-on-one.
You said threatening Anita. Right now, it feels like, both these two teams performing brain surgery in that Lord dance right here. They fought, but they completely forgot about the Lord. Now, when Team Myanmar had the Moscow down earlier just now, I thought it was an opportunity for Team Indonesia to pick up that Lord as well to try to rush it down. They've got a little bit more time, and I was expecting Shine to send his SOD down to the team fight right to try support, but he was too busy trying to wave clear right there, and then after they bought enough time for Team Indonesia to reconfirm and reconsolidate, and then after that, they both traded 2 for 2.
Indonesia also knew that Afan was down, so there's no point just forcing this Lord fight. Wait for Afan to come back up, right? And Indonesia trying to play that macro game, sending Delvin instead of Dingarai because they know that Dingarai has that damage right now. Delvin is actually sorely needed though. Speaking of which, there's the guiding wind. The circling eagle won't be able to take Shine out. Moskov again finds himself in trouble.
Moskov is not able to play the game for the past 1 minute. He was just like literally revived for less than 15 seconds, and Alexander was sent alongside with Delvin just to burst him down, and this opens up a lot of opportunity for Team Indonesia to pick up the Lord.
No Moscow for Myanmar. For so many team fights. He had a field day,
I think,
in the first game, but this time around, Indonesia is just walking all over Myanmar.
I think you don't send the Moskov over to the side lanes already.
No,
Mathilda knows what's up, and this is a Mathilda, right? They could just knock somebody up, has additional burst, send along somebody at the same time to burst you down. So I think Moskov had to start packing a lot of damage right there, coming out from the collateral onto Dingarai.
I don't think he's too afraid of that. He does have quite a bit of heal potential. Itemizations-wise, it's the Holy Trinity already built by Shine. He has that damage, but he's taking so much. The glass cannon on this Moskov.
I mean, you don't build tanky on this Moskov at all, right? But if you notice, Hein, building a Rose Gold Meteor is definitely required, but now the Lord's marching in against Team Myanmar.
T3 down the mid side. Indonesia tries to look for an angle. The energy eruption already used by that veteran. They're looking for Shine. Shine taking a little bit too much. The British Rap already hit. There's a final slash onto one. Glue already possessed onto a bomb, but using a heavy spin, locking them down onto the wall. And the Lord is charging onto the throne. Myanmar is all getting pushed back. Indonesia still has minion waves coming in.
Right now, it's just Team Myanmar desperately trying to wave clear right here. They do have the Moscow to also push in. The Spear of Misery will land onto Dingarai right here as Team Myanmar desperately trying to wave clear.
Dingarai up on the top side, bottom side in shambles. Delvin's taking care of business. Dingarai taking a lot of damage by healing everything back up once again. You got Arlon is manhandling this Claude, but he does everything. You can't take him out. Dingarai! This is late game Indonesia. We're talking about the death ball cannot be broken for now.
Glue coming back up, activated concealed play. Teams of at the very least, Team Indonesia know they may be overextended just a little bit, pulling back because they lost Afan. And you can see the 404. The damage is definitely found right there. Not going to agree with his KDA, but you can imagine, right, the amount of defense coming out of Team Myanmar. They're still in the game because of Shine with the collateral damage all across the board to wave clear.
A great fight, good cycle from 2K gold lead all the way up to 8 just with that one push alone. as Myanmar finds himself in a defensive position. Taking a look at the replay, it was just Dingarai healing everything so fast, and coupled with the Matilda as well.
And then also, you know, luckily the Moskov is still alive. I think great positioning for him. And the bonk coming out from Han was able to find onto Afan as well to basically put him down, to also persuade Team Indonesia to back off my lawn.
The Lord spawns up in the next 20 seconds. Myanmar sitting heftily in their base. Indonesia taking control of the map. This is their playground right now. Together with Alexander and the expanding rivers, they're going to make full use of it. Dingarai, 4 kills, 0 deaths. Having a great game on this Claude.
Yeah, now the Lord spawned, but Team Myanmar got their hands pretty packed, pretty busy.
Alexander has vision on this Red Drain. He's making a beeline towards this Lord. Afan wants to try to pull them away from that bottom side. They need to be able to try to find Shine and take him out. Indonesia knows that that is the main where the damage comes from. A third of their health. Lord is down low. Red Drain tries to go in. Dingarai seals up that Lord. They're going in way too deep, forcing a lot of ultimates coming out from Myanmar. No Moskov, no damage from Myanmar. It's fighting a losing battle. It goes wide. You don't have that Moskov right in the midst. Indonesia, they're leading the charge. They're happy about it. They're happy and they're hungry.
Man, if Shine actually land on the SOD, maybe there could be a return kill over to that side of Team Indonesia. But now Team Myanmar has a 3 open base. That Lord is marching down mid, and there's nobody beside Team Myanmar was able to hold, because this is going to be a 4v5.
It's 4v5. That's the circling eagle on top of that stretch red, placing the out onto the back line. You got immortality for Dingarai. He's getting safe. He's getting out. He's getting guiding win. He's sitting onto the throne. The Lord will help as well. It's a 4v5, and Indonesia wants to seal the deal with a 2-0 sweep.
Team Indonesia 2-0. Perfect gameplay so far.